Can you see it? Actually, you probably can't. Can you? Hold on. It's important, I swear. Warning. The following program is recorded live and is not intended for children. This program may at any time contain dark and graphic content that may be distressing for some viewers and against the terms of service for some platforms. The themes and opinions expressed in this program should be considered entirely fictional and should not be used for political or academic purposes. Facts are not checked, names are changed, and no sources or citations will be provided. Should you choose to redistribute this broadcast, please do so only in good faith and at your own risk. Viewer and listener discretion is advised. POV, you wake up to machine gun fire, World War III trenches, 3 miles away. You put on your combat gear, you tune into the system, or you enable the system. You flag your cyborg brain on. See? You calibrate. You affirm calibration. Your normal ears are certainly still hearing it. Your cyborg ear is now enabled. Next step, extra ammo clips into the pocket. Affirm rations, survival rations certainly. Nothing else matters. The water bottle should always be up to here, but you can survive with this. That also means that they start cutting the rations later on when they all start. All this rain and we're fucking, we thought we'd starve to death. All this fucking rain, all this water, but we can't filter it, sir, no matter what we do. And worse than that, it's getting into whatever, it's getting in the breaths of the men. It was probably on these walls before we took over these bunkers, sir. Sir, why the fuck is your camouflage dripping on my floor? Sorry, sir. He hits the button, and it turns to a dark uniform. Never camouflage on this floor. You understand, soldier? You, scrub this. You and you. Watch him scrub this. If he doesn't scrub it, shoot him to death. What? Follow my orders, sir. There's like this weird power grab thing. Then it's like, cut to the next scene. And it's like, there's these leeches. Thousands of them. He didn't come out, sir. Damn. That's the third we've sent in. Did you say he? That's right. This thing eats metal too. That's right. These things are eating metal before flesh. What the hell? We have no idea how long they've been down here, sir, but we suspect that it's been quite a while. Can I talk to you for a second? They pull them aside. First of all, if you threaten ever to make my men shoot each other again, I'll shoot you myself. I don't care what side we're both working for. And then the other one says, he looks him in the eye and he's like, you really want to have this operational dick measuring match? And he says, I do want to have a dick measuring match. He walks away. Good day, sir. The other guy walks back in. He's like, I affirm jurisdiction, do. He talks to the computer and the computer's engaged. And then everyone else is like, sir, and all their uniforms turn white. Before they were black and now they're white. You're like, what? And then this dude, you have no idea what the hell is going on anymore. Stormtroopers changing from white to black. This dude goes and starts touching the red computer. These are it's like Star Wars drones. They're like cyborgs. And, but they're also very specifically men in a way that the computer clones aren't. There's no personality, really. There's only attitude. It's hard to explain. It's hard to explain. Star Wars is about attitude. That's why the new generation of Disney movies just outright failed. It didn't take off, and no one likes them, and we all agree that no one likes them. It's kind of frustrating, actually. Cultural erasure. You gotta sink something that gets too popular. That could become religious, It's like, damn, people are starting to really believe in this shit like it's lore. Okay, I think I have to back this up. would they do that?
They have a pool. We have a pool. They just put in a pool. They have a pool.
I'd rather have my own pool than a community pool. Some of the bunch of people you don't know, who knows what they're doing in the pool.
Yeah, you know, it depends. They're pretty good. They're okay.
Hello and welcome back to whatever this is. Today we come live from 166, I think something Drive, but not Albany's Rural Cemetery. It's a different cemetery entirely. In I think maybe Nassau, New York. I'm not really sure where we are today. I'm actually here for work. The cemetery just happens to be next door to a house that I'm doing photography on. Collections. So we're gonna get out and we're gonna go wander there. Get the fuck out of here, you dumb little bird. So we're gonna park here. I'm gonna pull off to the side where we're not gonna get in anybody's way. And yeah, we're gonna go visit this nice little cemetery. No one's gonna bother us today. So we're in Nassau Skodak today. That's where we're at. So similar era, similar denomination would be my guess to the rural one. Not really much else to say. It's kind of just a basic cemetery, but I feel very at home here. 1832 to 1906. Wow. So this rock is probably rebuilt and put here sometime after 1906. Just looks like a newer rock. You know, this place obviously gets a lot of tender loving care. You can tell it's well mowed, obviously. There's probably some like nature trails back there that we will not explore today. There's some open availability lots, it looks like. Some you know, street signs, or sorry, not street signs, flag poles. I don't know why I said street signs, that's not right. There's yeah, this is a nice little plot of land here, and I like that it's kind of you know, it's got like the old ones, like this one is 1882. I don't know what this one is. That one over there is 1870. It's crazy, you know, just like how old, you know, people, you know, were, you know, people were just living their lives here long before I came along. And yeah, you know, I'm here today and checking them out. Not really, I really don't have any other commentary. I did no historical research showing up here. Again, I'm here for work. Like, this was an impromptu stop where I wouldn't have taken the job because it's collections. I don't like collections jobs just because it's sketchy and you're likely to get neighbors calling the cops and shit, yelling at you and stuff. But like, I don't really mind it so often, especially where I have somewhere to like dip to. It's like, oh man, you know, I was just getting an establishing shot, you know, oh, I saw you filming houses. No, nothing like that. No, I was just filming an establishing shot, you know, I give tours of the cemetery. Look, you can see it all over my Instagram, and even that's saying too much. Because actually the correct answer is I don't answer questions. Nothing I did was unlawful. You got suspicion of a crime? No. Am I being detained? No. Great, goodbye. You don't know people's shit. This is a really cool stone. It's funny, like my brain is so used to being at Albany Rural. I'm like, where am I? I'm like trying to track where I am in relation to, like, you know, like, wait, what tree is this? Like my brain feels like very, very much in place. Like I belong here, but also very confused. Because I've obviously never been here before. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. Well, I guess we'll be back again another time, guys. Thanks for very briefly joining. Yeah, I don't see any like flowers or anything really like interesting else to film here. Otherwise, I would stay here longer. You know, there's a single hawkweed. That's kind of cool. You know, I guess, like all things considered. That may be hawk bits. Lotondon. I don't know how it's said. We got Achillea millefolium here, the white yarrow. My friend says I say yarrow funny, so I started saying it even funnier. Oh wait, yeah, there we go. Not my actual finger. You gotta do that. Hey. Welcome back to Rainbows and Razor Blades, a show from the void. We come live today on the last day of May from Albany's Rural Cemetery in Menands, New York. By the French Revolutionary calendar, it is currently midway through the month of Prairial, the month of meadows. By the Gregorian calendar, it is currently the 31st day, and therefore the last day in the month of May, in the year of the Lord, 2023. Like I said, we are live today at Albany's Rural Cemetery in Menands, New York. We're going to be talking today about some of the local drama going on in Albany. Okay, let me rephrase that. I'm going to be making drama where none otherwise exists for the sake of the ruckus. Because there's really nothing going on in Albany. Like, it's a pretty sleepy town, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. So growing in Albany, New York, well, Menands, New York, is Trifolium pratense, the purple clover. And that's pretty cool. Then over here we have the ground ivy. So that's also kind of cool. You can see it like grows in like stacked little layers. Some call this creeping Charlie. See? Because it creeps around in your yard, growing up. Then up next, got Globtubus Weppel. Has anyone seen that meme? Like, what is that? We have Fleabane of some variety. I couldn't tell you specifically which. It's not pink enough to be Philadelphia. It could be like, it looks a little pink though. Who knows? There's so many of them. I really don't know. I'm not going to sit here and try to pretend or guess like I do. But it's definitely a Fleabane. What do we got over here? Besides ticks everywhere. Looks like we got some cinquefoil or five-finger grass, also known as potentilla. It looks like we have some wood sorrel. Are they doing the seed thing yet? Nah, it's a little bit later in the season, I guess. You can actually eat these ones, but please don't listen to me. I could be wrong. Don't take advice from me. Okay, let's see. What do we got over here? We got buttercups. Wait, wait. What the hell happened? What? It got so dark. That's crazy. Okay, I, full disclosure, do not know the people involved here. Like, these are people that are alien, foreign to me. They seem nice enough, you know, they probably mean well. I mean, one of them is trans, right? As far as I can tell. I don't mean to out her as trans if she's not out as trans. But, like, she's hosting or judging or something a transgender contest, but it's for this, like, I won't name it because I think it's kind of embarrassing, and I also don't really care to like shame and name them. Like, it's really not that big a deal. I'm not like over here doing like counter activism or like psyop stuff. Like, I don't want to just like sink these people's boat because I think they mean well. But so here's the well-meaning idea that these fools came up with. Maybe, all right. So full disclaimer up front. Obviously, I'm not a journalist. This is just my perception as like some windbag. And like, nothing I should say, it should be considered psychotic and therefore an active disinformation campaign and should not be used for political or academic purposes. Facts are not checked and no sources or citations will be provided. Should you choose to redistribute, please do so only at your own risk. So again, I don't know these people's names, and I really wouldn't really share them if I did know them. So I don't know these people, but like, one of them is, I assume, a cis man, and the other is, I assume, like an AMAB, a transgender woman of some variety. And so what that means is that they're using a either one of two things. Either the trans person is trying to use activism as capitalism, or someone is trying to use trans women for capitalism, right? With their contest. They're a t-shirt printing shop, as far as I can tell. Like, they're talking about, and some details have been changed, right? Some details have been a little bit changed because we don't want to out anybody for their like embarrassing idea. And so the idea, we got some milkweed on deck. Yo, you know who loves this? I forget the fucking name. The monarch butterfly. They need to lay their eggs on this plant, only this plant. So these fools, these fools. I don't want to, do the whole, what's his name? Penguin Zero, Moist Critical. We don't need to go down that rabbit hole. Like, that's not what I'm trying to do to these people. But they do have to learn a bit of a lesson. Like, it's going to be a bit of scorched earth. So, like, how much money do you think that our time is worth as artists, right? So let me give you the premise, you the audience, right? So here's the premise. The premise is that this t-shirt shop says that it's a contest, that you have to create original artwork in no more than 3 colors that'll take up no more than, like, I'm just making up shit, 8x11 piece of paper, and no more than 3 colors, and then that's it. You got to enter by the end of June, and it's going to be judged by some dude that skateboards, or and then some other trans girl or something to that effect. I don't actually know who's who, but one of them owns I think it's like a t-shirt printing shop, and the other one owns like a skateboard business of some variety. Right? I've never met these people, and I could literally possibly care literally not at all about them. You just have to know like who is doing this and why, what the context is. Because this is really happening. This is like, people really said this. And then they're like, oh, it's a contest. And it's like, right, but you're asking for original artwork from a very, very niche and already overly, like, not necessarily exploited, but discriminated against class of person. And as a person of that discrimination, like recipient yourself, you wouldn't be doing this as activism if you didn't also feel the same way about doing advocacy so that people know that we exist. Why then should we do it for free? Because there's a chance that you could pay us if we win, so that you could basically use us as an advertising promo for your like skateboard and your t-shirt. Like that's like, what if I changed it from, instead of it being a call for transgender people to a call for autistic people? Right now we have all the autistic people and all their mothers trying to buy a t-shirt, right? That's brilliant, right? Totally not rainbow capitalism, right? Totally not exploitative market pool sharing, activism, but then you pour capitalism into it. Or like, ha ha ha, we're already capitalists, but we'll pour some activism in, they'll never catch us, ha ha ha. Like, I don't think that's what this is, right? I don't think this is like the Lorax coming to town to be bigots and like put us on cans and then make little TikToks out of shooting those cans to stir up a psyop to further divide an issue that's otherwise unimportant to most Americans. I don't think this is the case. I think it's just like two foolish business owners who are fumbling to do genuinely what they believe is the right thing. And in that short-sightedness, probably because of an inherent bias, my guess is because one of them like feels like they can appropriate the cultural labor of them for their capitalistic ends, right? Because, well, but we're both doing the activism together, right, is the refrain, right? Like, we're both, again, I'm putting words in these fictional people's mouths. Like, but Priestess, but Sarah, once you get all the ticks off of you, what are you going to type about us on the internet? We were trying to help you, right? You, the trans woman. You, the transgender activist. We were trying to help you. We were trying to bring you into a world of plentiful dollar signs by selling our skateboards and our hats and our shirts and our posters to people and your friends, right? Say we changed it, let's run it the other way. We talked about, oh, look at these. These are called these are hawk bits. No, yes, hawk bits. Not to be confused with hawk weeds. Wait, these may be hawk weeds, actually. Oh, I will look it up later. This one is creeping time. This one, I don't know, some sort of grass. Some sort of maybe like daisy looking fleabane. Wow. More Trifolium pratense. That's the purple clover. It's really nice out here. This is just such like a nice little meadow. We got some chickweed going. Dang, we got so many good plants out here today, guys. So many plants. So while these fools are trying to cash in on other people's work, like they're not like necessarily trying to like desperately exploit people. That's not what I think is happening, at least not intentionally. But what ends up happening is, say like everyone spends the same equal opportunity hour. Right? But like the one really good artist obviously is going to win because you're looking for something that you can sell for profit. That's what you're looking for. That's what this is really about. Right? It's basically an open roll call or open portfolio. Like, you're not asking us for our portfolio. You're saying that you're running a contest. A contest usually has like some form of prize that isn't, well, we'll split the profits with you with whatever you sell. Like, we'll eat the upfront cost of those t-shirts being printed isn't really something that you're laying out as like a business contract. You're saying it's a contest and we should just make you art. Right? Well, that's if we win, right? Like, that's not a very good prize if we win. And if it is, it should be contracted, up front for work. But since you're not calling it work, what happens to the people that like don't get paid? What happens to the people that spend like 3 or 4 hours making like a record, like a classical large record size piece of paper? Because they don't really understand 8x11 or whatever. Maybe they do. Maybe I don't understand 8x11. But they make this whole nice big thing, but they get like disqualified, right? Like we don't know what your criteria is for judging. We just know that one of you is trans and is doing this for activism, which like good for both of you. It's genuinely good for both of you. This is the type of thing that like if you two want to team up and say like looking for transgender artists to make a difference in their community, like we're willing to front $3,000 for like however much it is, materials and prizes, so that we can make it happen. Like, we're not going to ask you to do original artwork, although it will be credited if you do, and it would be cool to like do this cool thing. Like, that's not how you're selling this. Like, this is like a half-baked idea that you just pulled out your butt, and you didn't understand that you were going to get fucking canceled for it. So this is me canceling you, right? Like, you guys are canceled. You're canceled. Or at least this project is canceled. Like, obviously I can't legally stop you from doing this. There's nothing unlawful. Genuinely speaking, I don't even think there's anything necessarily immoral about it. I think that it's really bad business, because I think that there is a moral, I know I just said it, but there wasn't morals, but there's a difference between like legal ethics, right? Like money ethics, and then like cultural ethics. Like, cultural ethics dictates that like if you pay somebody for their time, right, then it should be what you think, not that necessarily the time is worth, but what you would probably want to get paid for it, right? Like, if you think that their labor is worth $20 an hour, then you better be paying them $200 fucking when it takes them 5 hours. You better not be trying to lowball them and say, well, we were only paying you for the hour, right? Like, that's the type of like cheap fucking tactics that like employers are playing. But see, there's something adjacent to that, and that's where you don't pay people at all, and it's the same exact level of disrespect. It's the same exact level of like, well, we just like literally, first of all, probably can't afford to pay you up front. We couldn't possibly, right? Which is why it's an open roll call. That's why it's being framed as a contest. So what they're doing is they're looking for market collaboration. And if that's what you're looking for, then a contest is not the way to go about building your own demographic pool. That's research. And you can hire a researcher. You could have hired me for $300 to find you the top 10 gooby woobies in America. And for $10 extra, I'd refine that to just Albany's transgender women, right? And you'd be able to pick from a fucking hat a better artwork pool than you're gonna find by just blasting your name everywhere with, you know, the connotation that like, well, we're totally allies, guys. What if let's take it to its ultimate conclusion, right? And here's where I'm just gonna like wash you guys right overboard. Like, again, I don't mean to, but just like if you're not with me and you aren't convinced that you're getting canceled, here comes where you get canceled. Imagine if I was a nail polish salesman, right? And I put up the same thing, like, now you could take a picture of our fucking fingernail paint on your fucking fingers. Buy now, $13.99 a month, right? And I just put that up on the internet. You're gonna be like, well, that's spam. How is this not spam? How is what you're doing not spam? So say we copy paste it for every single business. Right now, it's like we got a free coffee for all the trans people that make promotional artwork. Now, for like a coffee shop. Now it's that we got like, and I would never accuse them of doing something so stupid. But like, now Empire Live teams up with like a ruckus band. Are you a ruckus band? Come play for us for free, and we'll judge you. It's a contest. Like, no, you're just trying to get lazy on talent booking. You see what I mean? Like, frame this any other given direction where it's not literal exploitation of capital for the purpose of like allegedly maybe activism or activism adjacent. Is it really activism if it's to get money? Yeah. Otherwise, we would have to denounce large groups like BLM, and instead we're kneeling to them. Like, that's great. That's fine. So like, if that's what you're trying to do, that's what you're trying to do. But understand that it looks fucking grimy. Like, at some level, it stops looking like what it is and it starts looking like capitalism. And I think as soon as you start actually like recruiting, trying to subvert the process, right, of having to actually pay for labor because you either can't afford it or you're too stupid to know that you need to buy it, right, to try to extract and self-commodify. Like, we aren't that fucking desperate, dude, for money or for your t-shirts, right? Like, who the fuck are you with your megaphone saying, oh, come on with your microphone, pay us to use our microphone? Fuck you. You pay me to use your microphone. You're talking about all this different dumb shit. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I just don't understand what the argument to excuse something like this is. Like, what? Like, I'm trying to play as hardcore devil's advocate as I can, right? Because it just seems so like astonishingly self-evident to me. Maybe because I've been indoctrinated different and I'm a little bit older. Or maybe it's because I'm actually a transgender professional, like, artist. Like, so when I see something like this, I'm like, buddy, it's gonna cost $300 for you to even, like, suck my dick on this job. Like, what the fuck makes you think I'm gonna enter your stupid little contest? Like, if other people want to get fucking ripped off, you know, and drink from a punch bowl that you're serving, like, that's fine. But I'm entitled to shit in the punch bowl. You invited me in the room. The moment you started using me, right, a transgender artist, to your promotional niche, you opened yourself up to the discourse and the deliberate mischaracterization from angry psychotics on the internet. Like, you asked for this, dude. When you go public with ideas that are half-baked, you get half-baked people coming back at you with their own bullshit. So now you're canceled. Canceled. That's my first time I've ever canceled anyone. How did I do, guys? Did I cancel them? What do you think? Leave it down in the comment section. We'll be right back after this. Thanks for joining. Also, by making this video, I'm like commodifying the drama. So actually, I'm even more of a bottom feeder. That's even lower bottom. That's like taking their queer activism and anti-queer activisming while also doing the thing hypocritically that I accuse them of doing. We'll be right back after this for realsies. Thanks for joining. I wish people understood like how big of a troll I am. I think they're starting to get a little bit of an idea for it. Like, it's taken them a while to like realize. I think it's because like they can't tell the difference between acting until they see that you're like 4 or 5 different characters. Like, if you've only ever seen Tom Cruise play one role, how do you know that Tom Cruise is capable of playing a different role? Like, there's that one dude that's he's in both comedy and both like really intense drama horrors, I guess. I don't know his name, but I think he's like maybe the dude from Will Ferrell movies. I could be mixing him up with someone else though. I can't think of a single movie he's in. You know who's a good example of a guy who can play multiple roles and is actually like a pretty profound, I would, at least the perception is Michael Shannon. He's a little bit underrated, I think. And actually, I don't think he's so underrated anymore. I think he was appropriately typecasted in quite a few good movies, and I think he's also underrated. So, anyways, yeah, we come live today from Albany's Rural Cemetery in Menands, New York. Today we're putting words in other people's mouths to give the illusion that maybe that there could be a defamation lawsuit somewhere on the horizon for me for the shit that I'm talking. That's why we're not using any names, and we're also changing details. Because I'm a psychotic, rambling lunatic. Like, I'm trying to give you what the archetype of the story is. I'm not actually trying to literally cancel these 2 people or have you dox who they are, right? Like, my best guess is that they're going to put this on Facebook. A couple of their friends are going to be like, wow, great. A couple of people are going to draw in crayon, and then my hope is that nobody does a serious work job to design these people a fucking activism t-shirt, right? Like, you want free art, bro. Like, admit it. Like, and that's fine. But just like, don't make it seem like we're doing ourselves a favor. We're not. We're doing your labor. It's not even a favor. And the fact that you're not paying us doesn't make it a favor. It makes it unpaid labor. Do you see how that works? Like, do you see how, like, once you start, like, I don't know, like, fucking paying your employees, I suppose, it just becomes like kind of self-evident when you would or would not actually contract to have someone do work. Like, if what you want is a qualitative bump in the stock merchandise that you're looking to sell, and you also want to raise buzz, then you hire a fucking like already discovered artist. So like, I'll name drop a few, and actually I won't, because you know that's actually really dangerous, because I don't want them to get dragged into my drama, so I won't do that directly. But I off dome, especially with like queer femme artists, not even necessarily like trans, because like, no offense, all you trans women that I know, you fucking can't make art. Like, shut the hell up. I don't want to look at your furry gifs. No offense to y'all. Like, it's just every time you're like, oh, I'm an artist too, I like look at it and I'm like, shut the fuck up. And I don't want to self-promote here. Again, like, here's the thing. I'm contracted. When I do art, when I do design, I don't do it for fucking contests. Like, it's like I'm an actual professional. And like, to try to hire non-professionals to undercut a labor market means you're cutting me out, a professional who built a fucking career, so that creeps like you know, can't get over so easy. I'm paying all of us $30 as if we're 15-year-old fucking children. Right now, if the contest is open for children and you want to frame it as like, oh, it's for the kids, it's for the kids. It is Dame's rocket, it grew here for the kids. No, this is cute though. That's Buttercup. This one right here is Virginia Creeper. You can tell because it just is. I mean, it's what it is. This one though, this one is maybe not that. That could be not that, but maybe it is. I'm trying to see what else is out here. Right, so like, so creeps like you who are like, oh, well, if it's for the children, then, well, you know what, guess what? Children can't even get a real job. They're in high school. So we only have to pay them $15 as opposed to $30 an hour. Well, we'd have to pay that priestess. She said it cost $30 an hour. And someone had to correct them and say, actually, she charges $300 an hour. Have you seen her artwork? Have you seen her fucking artwork? Have you seen it? Oh, AI could create that. Good luck. Right? So, like, make us a PowerPoint. We're a polyamorous community. It's a contest. Make us an advocacy, website. Everyone make a website. Come on, kids, make us a website. Like, no. That's called labor. And we should be compensated. And we should be compensated on the front end. Now, what you can do and what you should have done is you can say, call for market pool talent, looking for submissions for local artists to collaborate with. Like, we are seeking profit, but we're also looking to elevate voices. And that's why we're willing to offer a discount in promotion of, like, we have to be able to see some profit. But we're going to create the design together. And we're going to pay you to create the design both for yourself, and then as it sells, we'll split the profits with you. That's what you want, right? That seems like an equitable compensation. But the thing is, it's only equitable because we're not actually doing anything to get through that hurdle. You're asking us to come to you with your art, or with our art. You're asking us to come to you with our art. Fine, fair enough. That's lit. Honestly, dude, that's lit. Like, I have so much art, it's ridiculous. On a very personal level, the reason I'm so emotionally charged about this, I have a shit ton of art. A lot of it would be very difficult to print because my art is extremely psychedelic and rainbow, and like a little bit transcendental, kind of like hippie flow to it. So like it takes a different type of like printing than just a basic t-shirt print. But like, that'd be cute, dude. Like, if you hit me up in my DMs and were like, hey man, we like your vibes, want to like actually promo? Do you know how many scammers I get per day fucking hit me up? Oh, advertise your art on our shithead fucking thing. What you're doing is no different. It's no different than the jewelry companies. It's no different than any of the Instagram spam that I get. You just haven't figured that out because you're boomers. You're generationally, you're boomers. And the thing is that, like, if I worked for the state, I could lose my job for being ageist. But actually, I'm attacking your cultural Gen Y tendencies, because my guess is you're probably somewhere in your mid-30s, maybe even early 40s now. You're probably parents, respectively. And, I stalked both of you, like, I did my research. I'm just not going to name you. I'm not going to be more specific because, like, I think it'd be very disrespectful. And, like, if you know and you already hate these guys, like, I don't actually hate these guys. Like, I think they're actually doing a good thing. I think they're just buttheads. I think that they just don't know any better. And, like, that's why they're getting educated today. Like, this isn't just, like, opinionated-based politics. Like, this is, like, if you're not with us, you're fucking against us at this point. And if you think for an instant that we're going to let this slide, you're out of your fucking minds. Like, this is, like, an affront to us as a community, and any capitalistic seeking capital venture that comes our way trying to do exactly or similar to what you're doing, whether it's the fun run or it's the fucking like cops union, right? If they're trying to make us do work, like, hey kids, do promotion for the police, we'll put it on our police cars, like, great. Pay your fucking employees. It's fucking crazy. Come on, man. Aren't you excited about this? Right? I see. So you think that because I'm excited about something, that I should lowball myself. So, like, my special passion, right, being a transgender activist and raising awareness, because that's what I just always am doing on this channel. I mean, I do it when necessary, but, like, it's certainly not the evoked image when people, you ask them, like, what is Sarah's show about? Like, what's Priestess actually doing? Like, I guess gender may come up, but only because, like, I'm a radical disestablishment agent, or agent thereof, the chaos, right? Like, I'm not like the Joker. Like, I'm much more totalitarian in my sweeping regime change ideal, right? Like, in my utopia, we have single occupancy stalls, and we have abolished the male-female divide between, even the bathrooms. Everywhere else is made then equitable. Like that. And whoa, hey Nelly, that also means the abolition of the male-female binary, right? Like, we no longer have to play around with male and female, she and her. Now we can just, like, play around with, like, other quote-unquote neo pronouns, and, like, some of them may actually start to take, like, more hyper-specified shapes, like, and it isn't necessarily by body, right? It's by gender, because, like, I know two people that use zero pronouns. One is AFAB, the other is AMAB. So that proves it right there. Like, if you're that proves it. Like, if it's dichotomous in that way, and you can split based on genital biological essentialism, right? Like, if you can split there, right, then why are they both choosing different pronouns, right? Like, I don't know. It just seems like a cultural norm paradigm shift is coming. It's already here. People are just very slow to adapt, and it's like taking a long time to indoctrinate all the people and force the compliance of all the people. What was 10 years ago, like, yeah, you know, just don't say it again. Now it's a whole HR write-up, right? It's like it's actually getting processed type of thing. Like, the bureaucracy itself is catching up to the cultural paradigm shift. Surprise, gender segregation is falling. It just is, right? So part of that is an activist bit that those of us who are like progressives, regardless if you're leftist inclined or you're just sick of the status quo, even if you're a fucking like radical anarchist and you just want to tank the whole thing, you know, and see what happens after that, some sort of weird accelerationist. It doesn't matter ideologically where you fall on the spectrum. It's the same thing at some point. It's labor, it's work. And to try to subvert the ethics of payment, right? Like it's required for a free and open society that you can have at least some semblance of equitable trade. Now, you can't always have that. It just, like, we would have to regress so much of the system so quickly that the system itself would tip over and we'd all literally probably starve to death by the billions. Yeah, and I really have seen that, you know, the historical evidence to suggest that that is what will happen. You know, it hasn't happened in my lifetime, so I can't look and be like, well, it happened yesterday. Because we've been chilling. The modern system's been chilling, but it's tipping over. And I think people really feel that. And while we're all tipping over, part of the activist process can't be the engineering of profit. It can't be the hijacking of like, oh, come buy your Pride merch. Come specifically buy our product. Do work for our product. Like, join our new Coca-Cola advertising company gimmick. You know, we're going to put your artwork on our cans. Like, it's great. You'll get the exposure. We will or you will, right? It's disgraceful. Do you like ice cream? Now we have transgender colored ice cream. Hashtag retweet our ice cream. If you retweet to 10 people, we'll send you a coupon for $5 off. You see the problem with that? So now we have transgender ice cream. Comes in 3 colors. We're enforcing the binary, but we have purple. Buy now, get one free. But only if you're trans. Oh man, I was about to see this little thing right here. It was burning. That's my little ember from my weed. But it was burning like for like until I got my phone. That's why I got my phone out. But it was like burning, man. I thought I was gonna like light this all on fire, but it actually just burned itself out, and it didn't even really like start a fire. But I was thinking the whole thing was gonna go up, and I'd be like, this is a lesson about starting a forest fire. I should be learning a lesson about ticks. I haven't found one yet today, but that don't mean that they're not here. So, like, I've just been thinking about rainbow capitalism, right? My dad's a bit of a doofball. He thinks that he can also run like a charitable community as a business. And I'm like, no, my friend, what you're talking about is running a business because you want to make money. And you want to make money by doing activism. And like, it's the two really can't be mixed. There's no real such thing. We either disestablish the system or you work within the constraints of the system without undermining your class struggle. That's it, man. If you're not that far left and you're living in Albany, you're playing for the wrong team. And if you think you're going to get one over on us, you're wrong. Every year I choose whether that I will be a right winger or a left winger. It's fun. Bruh. This fucking dude. He's very blue. Some nice place here. And this time of year, it's really its own energy zone. Because you can't do what I just did. Through the on mode, no one does that but me. Just be crazy. All the ticks. All the politics. So we've actually done 2 cemeteries today. Look at all these buttercups, man. That's incredible. Buttercups for days. A little bit of maybe bugleweed. Nah, maybe creeping Charlie. Hard to tell. I think it's bugleweed though, based on the way that the flower looks. But I'm not gonna stop to check because, to be completely honest, no one really cares, and I also am nobody. I don't really care. Let's go bird. Bird's over here trying to get a worm. I threw 2 of these out today that I found in the woods. Ran a little more than I would have liked to. I get it though, you know. Like, people don't like. I would hope, like, purposely throw that shit right there. Not here, at least. Like, there's so many people on this earth that definitely don't give a fuck about throwing plastic out the windows. But I think the people that come here are of a higher moral standard. Just kind of by the inherent nature of the sacred, like, even scummy people have a bond with God here, I think. Even atheists are kind of forced to. Like, you can come here as a poltergeist and, like, pee on the grave. I would never do this. The one person who told me that they did it, they go, I peed on the president. I was like, wow, you really stuck it to the man. That way everyone else who's American that came here, they have to smell your pee. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough if you think that we're going to let you back here. Me on a personal level, I'm like, no. They're like, hey, you want to hang out at the cemetery? I'm like, no. Because you pee on graves. It's mad fucking stuff, dude. Like, I spit a lot, and I don't even spit on the graves. I don't spit anywhere I think a 5-year-old would wander through. That's like a pretty good rule, you know? I think that's like a bare minimum. Like over here, you could probably get away with spitting there, but I wouldn't recommend it. Best place is right there, and you just scuff it. Like, if you have to. But, like, I don't encourage it. Look how nice fern. That's cute as hell. That's a nice fern. Turned on by Plant Sulu. I just think it's funny, right? Like, if I were to get pulled over, and I hope this doesn't happen, right? Like, pulled over and suspected of a DUI. Like, I don't drive under the influence ever. It's just like, I've never done it. I don't plan to start doing it. I don't have like a drinking problem, so it's never really been a really difficult thing for me to like struggle with. Like, I don't do it. So, but it's funny to me to think that, like, if a cop pulled me over and was like, do you want to take some divided attention field sobriety tests to dismiss my suspicion? Then I'd be like, oh yeah, bro, no, like, I got you. And then right before we started, I'd be like, so are you on any medications? Do you have any, like, physical injuries that are going to impair your ability to give me this test? Because that's the question that they ask you next, right? Like, it's a standard form that they're filling out. You don't realize how much of a dog and pony show the whole fucking thing is. Like, listen, if you're drunk, you're only going to incriminate yourself. You couldn't possibly dispel his suspicion. If he's pulling you out to do field sobrieties, he's pretty much already got you dead to rights with what they call probable cause by preponderance of evidence. He's gonna try to put you in the damn slammer. He's like, you know what, you fucking prick, I smell alcohol and I want to put you on the blood machine, so I'm going to make an arrest. You know, like, the better decision is to just take the field sobriety, not the field sobriety test, but the PBT, the preliminary breath test. Like, can we just skip to that? Like, can we stop pretending like, I guarantee that's like undercover following, like, his dude. You couldn't see it, but like, I just think it's hilarious. Like, you've been drinking tonight? Like, no, I haven't, officer. Have you been drinking tonight? Like, fuck you, you know, asking me that question. Like, and then, you know, it's like, all right, how about this? I'm going to shine a light in your eyes and I'm going to check your attention to make sure that you're sober enough to give me the the test to put a light in my eyes to see if that my jaw muscles basically and my neck muscles will engage, because if they don't, then that means that I have retention of control over those muscles, and I'm also tracking what they're saying, and I'm actually answering their questions. But if I do start like looking up, it's a divided attention test, and they like drunk people like literally can't do it. Like they don't understand what they're being asked. They think that they're following the light, but they're actually their jaw muscles moving because they don't have the attention span or the motor control to be able to like keep their head steady. That's why they say like don't move your head. Okay, don't move your head. Just look right here. And they always make it seem like you fucked up more than you did. Like that's what they're trained to do. Like they're always gonna say the same thing. Because most people fuck it up. Like, you gotta be like super still with it. And first of all, you shouldn't be doing it. So this isn't like how to defeat the field sobriety test. How to defeat the field sobriety test is you don't take the field sobriety test, because there is nothing to defeat. It just doesn't exist as court evidence against you. It can only ever be used against you. It will never be used to exonerate you, right? Ever. They wouldn't introduce the evidence. You would have to do that, and then your defense would be made to look like an anti-defense, because you'd look like a dumb chum on the side of the road, because that's what they make you out to look like. That's the whole point of the test. I mean, part of it serves a purpose, to test divided attention and catch drunks, but a lot of it is just the manner of speaking, etc. So I just think it'd be funny if like I got pulled over. Like it would just be humorous, because they would be on their body cam, What the hell? The whole chair started going down. Alright, we'll be back again soon. Dude, we got so much dirt, bro. I'll show you my poorly planted experiment plant. Oh man, yeah, it's not doing so good. Oh yeah. What a mess. That would probably have to get replanted 2 inches deeper. Purple-eyed grass. Prairie smoke maybe. Monarda or something. Maybe tropical milkweed actually. You want to see something super fucking wacky? Watch this. So I'm casting at the same time as I'm moving, so I'm like watching myself. So it should go like infinite, right? Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! That's ridiculous. It's like a little bit behind, so you can like still kind of see me. See? I gotta duck out. It's really funny.